Today, I'll tell you the nearly fatal story of Clara, a confident, seasoned caver and her friends. In this tale, where experience couldn't triumph over nature, you might find yourself immersed in the tragedy as it unfolds. Viewer discretion is advised. On a freezing January morning in 2003, a sharp wind sliced through the pine forests of the Oregon Cascades. A narrow crevice known as Raven's Throat beckoned three cavers. Among them was Clara Hensley, a 58-year-old geologist, wiry and fiercely passionate about uncharted caves. Her companions, seasoned climbers Marcus Tate and Lena Voss, were drawn to the allure of the unknown. Raven's Throat was infamous, a long labyrinth woven with basalt and limestone. Its damp walls and passages so narrow they barely fit a single body. The group stood at the entrance, their breath visible in the icy air, their headlamps casting trembling shadows into the darkness below. Clara, the smallest of the trio, took the lead. She had mapped nearly every cave in the Pacific Northwest, her curiosity for the Earth's hidden stories peeping her driven. The cave's entrance was dauntingly narrow, just 25 centimeters wide. A claustrophobic slot plunging 4.5 meters into a wider chamber, which then twisted into a corkscrew passage. Marcus and Lena checked their ropes one last time, their carabiners glinting in the morning light. "This is a tough one," Clara said, her voice calm but cautious. "Stay sharp." They nodded, unaware of the disaster awaiting them. The descent began smoothly. Clara squeezed into the slot, her ribs grazing the cold, damp rock. Her clothes caught on sharp edges, but gravity aided her, and she slid into the chamber below. January's chill had cooled the rocks. The air was heavy, a steady 10 degrees Celsius, chilling her despite her thermal gear. Marcus and Lena followed, their headlamps flickering as they landed. The chamber opened into a corkscrew passage, its walls tightening like a vice. Clara's heart raced, not from fear, but from the thrill of discovery. She aimed her lamp forward, revealing ancient striations in the rock. She yearned to go deeper, but the risk of venturing alone was too great. Reluctantly, she decided to turn back. The 3.5-meter climb was manageable, her muscles warmed by the effort. She reached the base of the entrance slot, her headlamp illuminating the tight gap above. From below, it looked impossibly constricting, the walls converging like a trap. She took a deep breath, her body already chilled by her damp clothes. Gravity, a friend on the way down, now turned traitor. Clara twisted, trying to fit her body into the merciless slot. Her knees scraped against the basalt, her jacket soaked with icy moisture. Every inch was a struggle, her muscles straining against the rock's stubborn grip. Gravity weighed her down. Above, Marcus and Lena shouted words of encouragement, their voices muffled by the cave's depths. "You've got this, Clara," Marcus called, pulling the rope, but the slot showed no mercy. Her chest compressed, each breath a battle. Her headlamp flickered, casting sharp shadows that seemed to mock her. Minutes stretched into eternity. Clara's strength waned, her hands trembling from the cold. The cave's 10 degrees Celsius turned into a deep freezer, her wet clothes sapping her warmth. Hypothermia crept in, her fingers numb, her movements sluggish. She pushed upward, but the rock gripped her tighter, its sharp edges biting into her ribs. Panic surged, a rare feeling for this experienced woman. "I'm stuck," she gasped, her voice barely audible. The slot was a vice, crushing both her resolve and her body. She shivered uncontrollably, her breath shallow, the cave seeming to suffocate her alive. Marcus and Lena sensed the shift. They pulled the rope harder, but it only wedged Clara deeper, her body twisting unnaturally. "Hold on," Lena shouted, her voice cracking. They tried lowering a spare jacket, but the slot's tightness made it impossible. Clara's mind reeled, replaying her descent, how easily she'd slipped through, how much she'd trusted her skills. Now, the cave was her enemy, its icy grip relentless. In a weak voice, she called, "Get help, I can't do this." Marcus rushed to the surface, his boots crunching on frozen pine needles. From his truck, he dialed 911, his voice trembling as he described Clara's plight. Lena stayed, shouting reassurances into the darkness. Within an hour, the Cascade Cave rescue team arrived, their gear clattering. Raven's Throat was notorious, its narrow passages a nightmare for rescuers. The team's leader, veteran caver Riley, knew time was critical. Hypothermia could kill faster than the entrapment. The rescuers descended one by one, their headlamps piercing the gloom. They found Clara in the slot, her skin pale, her body shaking. Her pulse was faint, her speech slurred. "Stay with us, Clara," Riley urged, passing down a thermal blanket. The slot's geometry was brutal, its 25-centimeter width barely allowing their tools to fit. They rigged a pulley system, their chisels striking the basalt with care. Each blow echoed ominously, the rock resisting. Clara gritted her teeth, pain searing through her as the wall scraped her shoulders. Jay and I, the rescuers, worked in shifts, their bodies contorting in the tight space, their breaths labored. Hours dragged on. Clara's consciousness flickered, her body cold to the touch. The teen chipped away, widening the slot centimeter by centimeter, each moment agonizing. Finally, after 3 grueling hours, they freed Clara. Her body was bruised, trembling, her pulse weak but present. Clara spent days in the hospital, battling severe hypothermia. Her recovery was slow, her body bruised, her spirit shaken. Reflecting on the ordeal, she admitted she had underestimated Raven's Throat. Her expertise had blinded her to the slot's true danger, her curiosity overshadowing caution. The cave's tight confines had turned a routine expedition into a fight for survival, a stark reminder of nature's unforgiving power. Hypothermia effects, cave exploration risks. The Cascades community rallied, sealing Raven's Throat to prevent future tragedies. Clara's story spread, becoming a cautionary tale for cavers drawn to the unknown. Her resilience inspired, but her ordeal warned. Even the experienced can fall to nature's traps. Preparation, not passion, saves lives. If this story gripped you, hit like and subscribe for more tales of adventure and survival. Stay curious, but stay safe.